Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of a Holy Rust Revival. I'm Rob Smith. So, this is not the vehicle that I had intended on us to be working on. As a matter of fact, one of the last videos I did, I asked you to choose between, what was it, finishing up this or working on the Mustang. Maybe it was working on the Mustang or working on a 67 F100. Well, has life ever changed? Has life ever thrown you curveballs? Well, I'm not saying it's a major curveball, but here's what's happened. And I sincerely apologize for not posting a video lately, but building a barn dominium, and a lot of things have just been happening in the last couple of weeks. Concrete in specific detail. Laid 6 inches of concrete in the shop area, 4 inches. And it's looking nice. It's going to be a really nice facility, but that has completely consumed any extra time that I have had the last couple of weeks. And also, I'm building a 60,000 square foot, I'm overseeing the building of a 60,000 square foot career and technical center to train students in skilled trade areas. So guys, been busy, been very busy. Been camping with my scouts. We've been to Talladega. Saw the largest wreck in Talladega or NASCAR Cup series, which was a 28 car pileup. And oh my goodness, that was something else. But in that time, I've also been asked to host a hayride at my church. And last year, I pulled the trailer with my John Deere B that had the old, flywheel that you have to spin. And it did great, but I was nervous the whole time. If that thing goes dead and it gets vapor locked, and one time it did go dead, and I just about threw my shoulder out. I had to get my youngest son, Braden, to come in and spin that flywheel to get it cranked, and we finally got it there and finished the hayride. But I decided to do something a little less stressful this year, and I decided to pull the trailer with the old 46 Willys Jeep. As you know, this thing's got an SM465 in it with that granny low, 538 to 1 gears, I believe, in the axles. So if I put this thing down in low gear there, it will pull any trailer you could ever imagine. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be working on the old Willys Jeep, getting it ready for the hayride. Now, some of the things that we've got to do, I'm going to kind of straighten it up, clean it up, put a little paint here and there. But the main thing is that I've got to build a tire carrier for the backside of this Jeep so that I could put a receiver hitch in there to pull a trailer with. So that's really the biggest thing I've got to do. And hey, come along for the ride for the next 2 weeks as we get the old Willys Jeep ready for a hayride. Man, what good help I have. Yeah. Just stays at my feet all the time. All the time. So, just prettying up the front bumper a little bit. I scraped it down really well and primed it, got it ready for some paint. I put some paint on that, made that old rough bumper look a little bit better. And I got carried away and I started putting in a tachometer right there. And I'm in the process of hooking the wiring up now. Now these things may be different, but white wire goes to the light switch. Of course, black goes to ground. Red goes to the actual key switch, turn on. And then green goes to the tachometer wire. In my case, it's coming off of the ECM, and I've got it taped up right here because I knew sometime in the future I was going to put a tack on this thing. So that's coming from the computer. In your case, it might actually have to go to the wire of the distributor. All right, so I've also gotten all the gauges installed. And then watch this. Woohoo! Isn't that pretty? I got the original style light fixed up there. And also the gauges themselves have lights in them. So that's pretty sharp. And I tried to keep them, like I said, original style looking gauges. So yes, beautiful, coming along. It's just a lot of this kind of little stuff that I haven't done to this old Jeep. I've just basically got it running, been using it here on the farm, but it's high time to finish some stuff. Okay, last thing I'll probably show you tonight is I have been trying to design my spare tire carrier for the back. And tomorrow I'm going to have to get these pieces of metal, square tubing, and then a receiver block, 2-inch receiver block to put in. And just hold tight on this. This will probably be the next thing I do. And we'll document that process all the way through. So basically, I'm going to put another bumper to mirror this one that's back here, but it's going to come out just a little ways. And then we're going to mount all kind of goodies to it back here in the back. Okay, y'all, it's about 9:30. It's a Monday night. It's a work night, so I need to go to bed. But we got something done this evening. Very happy to say. Now look, I may tinker around on these wires and get this tack set up. If so, I'll bring you back in just a minute and let you see the thing in true fashion. Everything did not go as planned. The tack is in. I went to crank, and the tack wire coming from the computer did not work. But I just went the old-fashioned way and came around and found the coil, and I tapped into the signal wire, which is the black and white wire coming off of this 2000 Chevy 4.3, and I ran this wire all the way to my tack on the inside. And now it works. So let's crank this baby up so you can see all that shaking down. We're out of gear. All right. There's a working tack. There she is. Maybe I can go home or decide not to do something else. And I'm not. I can't. I got to work tomorrow. So we're going to stick a fork in this night, buy supplies and materials tomorrow, so that maybe we can get started on the rear tire carrier, spare tire carrier back here. Then we'll start slapping some paint on this thing and make it look good. Kip, want to say good night? Hey, show everybody you can sit. Sit. Look at him. We are a smart dog. We're learning things. We're learning things. Yes, we are. All right, good night, y'all. Hey, y'all. It's about a day or two later, and I've been collecting materials, basically, to build the tire carrier for the back of the Willys. This is a piece of 2x4. It's pretty thick wall stuff that I'm going to use for the bumper to put the hinge for the tire carrier in. And I've got 2x2 and 3x2 so that it wouldn't get so heavy up in the apparatus up here where the tire was hanging from. But that bumper is actually going to be pretty doggone heavy there. I hope it's not too heavy for this old Willys. But anyway, hey, tonight the goal is to get that on and get the receiver hitch. See the receiver hitch right there? To get that on and welded onto that cross member right there. And I hadn't decided if I'm going to weld it or if I'm going to bolt it on just yet. So I don't know. Scratch your head with me as we go along here. Okay, let me bring you in here just a second. As you can tell, it's gotten dark outside. Had a few farm chores I had to deal with before dark. So this 2x4 piece, I am trying to cut angles on the end to match the angle that's on that cross member right there. So it's just kind of a slow but sure process. You can see how I've still got to cut this side over here. But before I weld this back up and make this solid again, we've got to put the post in for the tire carrier to swing. And there's only a limited place that I can put that. And it's gonna have to be right here in between this tail light and the tailgate. I can't come over too far this way because I get my tail light, and I can't come over too far this way and I won't be able to let my tailgate down. So there's a perfect spot right here that shaft is going to have to go. I'll show you that in just a minute when we get to it. In the meantime, I'm going to spend a good bit more time grinding and cutting and getting that side ready. Then one of the next things we've got to do is actually cut a hole for the receiver hitch to go in. Oh, it's going to be a fun night. And it's supposed to get down to 39 degrees tonight. What a wonderful shop night ahead. I have cut out a hole in both sides of this square tubing to put that little receiver hitch in. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to sink it down in there a little more. I want to make sure that I have enough room between here and here to get my bolt through and the pin in without having too many issues in the future. So that is shaping up. I think the next thing I'm going to do is sand some paint off of this, clean this up a little bit, and let's tack weld that thing in the hole. And then we'll move on to the actual shaft. Actually, it's going to be on that side. The shaft for the tire carrier up here. All right, a guy spent a little time welding the receiver hitch in, smoothing things out. So I stuck it through just far enough on the back side to get a little lip to weld around. I don't think a standard receiver hitch will go all the way through, but let's see. That's about a standard something you would get at a parts store. So there it is, hole line up there. Doesn't stick out too terribly far. And on this side, yeah, it doesn't stick all the way through. I was a little worried about having enough space for that to stick through, but that's no issue whatsoever. Okay, let's let that cool just a little bit. Plasma cut a hole in the top of that and put this shaft in, and welded the snot out of it, not only up here, but inside. So that is rock solid. So what goes on that shaft are these bearings, and it's a little bit too hot for me to stick the bearings on right now, but this will kind of give you the gist of what's going to happen. Man, there's some heat coming off that thing. But this is where I'm going to weld the shaft, or the mechanism to weld all of the spare tire carrier to out here. But this actually has bearings, and it's got a Zerk fitting for grease and a cap that goes on the top. So once that cools, I'll kind of test drive that, make sure everything is okay there. One of the next things I want to do while I've got the bumper and can weld on it easily, or got the bumper off rather, is to put some of these D-shackle rings, hooks on here for recovery. And that will help have an attach point to the back side of the Jeep. All right, let me keep plugging, y'all. It's about 9 o'clock and it's getting cold. And I don't know, maybe we got another good hour or two left in us. Let's see what we can get done. Pretty much have everything welded up for the bumper itself. Got this welded in very well. There's the first glimpse of the bumper. Kind of sort of just on jack stands up there. And I gotta say, that is very attractive. I like that a whole lot. Yes, the only close part is I got kind of close to this tail light right here, but that's just gonna have to be what it's gonna be because can't let the tailgate down. It'll hit this right here, so I don't want any obstruction with the tailgate. And that's not bad. That's not bad right there. All right, so here's the idea I came up with. I got some pretty good substantial angle iron and pop some holes in them, and I'm going to utilize the brackets that are already in this cross member. These two outside ones are actually a part of the frame rail on the inside. These two inside are just holding the skid plate on, but it will add some more rigidity to the bumper itself. And so my next step is to set the bumper up here and tack weld these brackets on and then take everything off and weld the snot out of it. So that's the next step. Okay, y'all. Would you believe that it's 2 o'clock in the morning? This fella just got to going and he had a goal in mind, and the goal was to get that on and secure. and I'm tired, but I am happy with the way that turned out. I mean, it just tickles my fancy. Doesn't it, Kip? Doesn't it just tickle your gizzard? Okay. Y'all, it turned out great. There's plenty of support on that that bumper there. It's 2 a.m. Fella's got to be at work at 8 a.m. He hadn't cut the heat on his camper, and it's 39 degrees now. And Kip's cold. I'm cold. We're tired. Good night. Hey, y'all. It's late Friday afternoon, the day after we had the late night shop night last night. I think I ended up putting my head on the pillow at 3 a.m. this morning, and I had to be at my day job at 7:30. Didn't leave a guy much time to catch any winks through the night. And I just decided today, excuse me, cool air last night got to me. Today during my day job, I just said, okay, I can't sit down. I can't do it, because if I sit down, I'm gonna go to sleep. So I might have gotten more done today just by being up, moving around. So, like I said, it's late Friday afternoon. Guy's just picked up and gotten in his truck, and he's taking a little road trip. Sometimes a feller just needs to get away, chew on some sunflower seeds, stare through the windshield for a while. And actually here in Mississippi, the leaves are starting to change just a little bit. It is mid-October, and we had a little frost the last 2 or 3 nights. Patchy frost, not a big frost. But I'm starting to notice leaves changing. And it's beautiful right now. So why not take a road trip? But I do have my trailer behind my truck. So this road trip might result in something. I don't know yet. I'm traveling 130 miles south of Meridian, Mississippi. I won't be too far from the coast, the Gulf Coast, down in Biloxi in that area. But I might be bringing something home, and I'm not going to spoil it right now because I got to put my peepers on it before we actually make the final decision. So hang tight, okay? In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy this man trip. No radio, just a guy staring through the glass. How does that sound? I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to turn the camera around. Got a tree growing up in a 67 Mustang. I'm looking for a few parts to finish off the Mustang project. And I know you're calling me crazy. I know. I can hear the thoughts in your mind. But I'm paying for this car when I would pay more for those two fenders right there. And this fender is terrible on my car. It is caved in all through there. Somebody started a race car and stripped it out completely and was in the process of doing so. And look, I'm told that this motor, oh, look at there. I can't get the hood up any more than that. But that's a 302 with a little race cam in it, with an AOD behind it. That's a automatic overdrive forward transmission. And something else, I don't know if you can see it, but it was originally a standard car. It's got a clutch pedal hanging over there. So there's enough parts in this car. Oh, and by the way, Ford 9-inch in the rear and a relatively new gas tank underneath all of that stuff. And I don't even know what's in here. We're not even going to dig till I get home. There may be all kind of surprises and goodies in here. There's part of the roll cage they were starting to build. There's some valances right there. Okay, she's coming around with a backhoe. I got to put my phone down and get ready for this transaction, so to speak. She wanted to take the tree out before I went down the road. I said, oh no, you're not. I am going down the road just like that. Okay. Oh, these door skins, brand new, even though they have surface rust on them. They're brand new door skins. And that is actually a good fender right there as well. Okay, I gotta quit bumping my gums. Get ready to do something here. Oh, one more thing. I keep seeing things. Those blinker bezels, I need those for my hood. And again, that just adds to money. Every time I find just some of those little things that I need. Okay, bye. It is pitch black dark now. You have no idea how I had to work to get this bad boy up on the trailer. Y'all, I'm not even gonna relive it. I'll be honest with you. Look, I don't know how much is gonna fly out from inside that car. I threw one of the tires in there just to hold everything down. So maybe that will. Believe it or not, but that's a new door skin. It just has surface rust on it. This fender is a little questionable, but that's not the fender I want. The fender I need is this one. And it is perfect, except for a little spot right there. And that's just something you have to deal with, you know? This one has a new door skin. But let me show you a little gem. I got to show you this before I hit the road home. So that is a 302. Look right there, y'all. That is a DUI HEI distributor. That one piece right there is worth what I paid for this whole car. Just that. And if this motor runs great, if not, I'll use this on my engine that I'm planning on putting in my Mustang. Okay. All right, I got 2 hours to go before I get home. Y'all just pray that this thing holds together. It's questionable. It's no doubt questionable. I think I'm just gonna take off and not look back. Maybe I'll stop every now and then. All right, let old guy get down the road. But before we go, one more look at the tree. That's the first thing people notice. And I wish the car were turned around the other way so you could see it better. But I have always wanted a car with a tree in it. And I don't know, I might keep it that way. Might do something in my man cave with that. I don't know. I don't know what the plan for this car is, other than I'm just going to use a whole lot of parts off of it. Okay. Okay, y'all, it's about, 12, 24 hours later. I don't know. Made it home with the old Mustang. But we're going to continue building this tire carrier this evening. But there's the old Stang in the shop yard. And yeah, that's so nice. You can see that it got pretty close to the gas cap. Might have even, hindered it just a little bit, but I don't want to disturb that. There might be something creative I can do with the backside of this car. And we're going to do more on this car later. I think I want to have a little fun with it before start robbing parts off of it. And the thought is to possibly get it running, maybe do some donuts in the pasture before she goes down, just to commemorate its life, so to speak. But y'all, it looks kind of good on the outside, but it is completely roached out. I mean, I haven't even uncovered the bottom yet, but I don't know. I don't know that this is a car that can be recovered. It's bad. It is really, really bad. I mean, it's, and I hate it. I really hate it for the car, but the frame rails are, quit looking, Rob. Quit looking. Yeah. I don't know if we got a good look of the motor the other night, but it is a 302 with an HEI GM ignition distributor on it. And supposedly this motor can run, and that's why I say we might do a Holy Rust revival on just the car itself. Maybe get the thing running, cut a couple of donuts, and celebrate its life as a car and put her down for parts. The frames are so rotten underneath that, come over here and look. It is completely given way over here. The frame rails are just rotten as they can be. And old Kip has already designated it as his car. He has marked his territory. Thank you, Kip. Thank you very much. The trunk opens differently than normal Mustangs. Again, look at how rotten that is. That's just not even salvageable. Okay. The good news is it's got a good roof on it. It's got a good roof line. Normally it's rotten down in here, and it is not rotten there. It is rotten in the cowl. You can't see it, but the cowl that I'm working on right now on the Mustang, they just rot right down in here, and this one is gone. All right, so back to priority. Some people have blown my shop up with doggone deer feeders. And it's the Aidens that did it. Caden and Braden. Braden is my youngest son, and he and Caden have been cleaning deer patches and dragging out old deer feeders, trying to patch things together. I mean, I got stuff everywhere. I can't even get my welding machines out now for all these deer feeders scattered everywhere. So Caden and Braden, if you're watching, come clean your mess up, all right? I love you guys, I really do. Appreciate you helping out and trying to get this stuff going. Okay, y'all, got to scratch my head on this thing and get a plan going. We need a tire carrier, a tire swinging on this thing before we go to bed tonight. How does that sound? Okay, let's get busy because it is sun going down time and guy's got to work tomorrow, so he's got to get on it. So I'm having to make a bracket to hold the support for the far side of the swing carrier. And this will make more sense in just a little bit, but I just wanted to show you that I had to drill some holes and tap them because I won't be able to get a bolt or a nut on the back side of this bracket. So anyway, I just wanted to bring you up to speed on this. This will make more sense in just a moment. Hey y'all, we just had to do a sunset run, old Kip and I. You know, you just have to take breaks and moments away from what you're doing. We're in the old Jeep 73 CJ-5, excuse me. I can't get my words out. Just had our last hay harvest of the season. And leaves have not started turning yet. It is late October. Well, they've started turning. They're just not in their full capacity at the moment. But anywho, it's a beautiful day. He likes riding and he likes getting rubbed really hard. The rougher you are with these old blue heelers, the more they like it. They like it. Isn't that right, Kip? Look there. He wants some more of it. He wants some more. Ah. Yes. Oh, let's just get after it. Let's stretch that neck really good. Okay, we're going to enjoy this moment for just a little bit longer. I finished up that little bracket. So basically what it is, it's an L bracket that I had to make, and there's about a, I don't know, ½ inch that's away from the body itself. But screwing into that little bracket, and that's where I tapped and threaded those holes so that, you know, when the tire carrier, well, let me get this. This is the bar that's going to be the swing away. So let me go ahead and set it kind of in place where you can see I've got some washers shimming about where that's going to be located. So that insulator, it's kind of a rubbery plastic, maybe polyethylene or something like that, will insulate it from bumping and rattling too much back here. And I had to cut this off to where it wouldn't hit that, get in front of that brake light there. So the next thing after that is to actually start tacking on this bar here. As you can see, I've taken the grinder and kind of ground out a rounded edge on there. Haven't welded that up yet, but I'm trying to get a idea of where this Des Taco, I think that's how you say it. Here's the part number, Des Taco 344. I think it's a latch that I got on Amazon, I believe. I think that's where I got it from. If not, you can definitely do a search for that right there, Des Taco, and you'll find this very easily. Let me pick this up before I lose it. Well, let's just hit our hand and continue to lose it. Okay, so I've just got this tacked on. You can kind of sort of see how it works. I don't have any pressure on anything yet, but it's supposed to come up and wedge like that. And that'll give you the ability to unlatch and pull your swing out tire carrier away. I'm catching just a half of that bracket on this top part. I don't know if that's going to be an issue. Actually, it's wedging up against this polyurethane bushing right here, so I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to weld the snot out of this and really weld that up good, and get to welding that, and we're fixing to be able to swing away and lock. Well, I've taken a bit to weld everything up good. That is welded pretty solid. The handle is welded very good, and I kind of sort of have it adjusted. So, pop this handle down, bring that off, and voila. There is the base of the tire carrier. And it operates very smooth. I'm probably gonna have to tighten those bearings up pretty tight inside there to give it a little more rigidity, but look how well it closes. I mean, it just perches itself right up on that little rubber block and says, I'm ready to be latched. And there it is. That is not going anywhere. And it is, I mean, it's sturdy as a rock, especially for this old Willys. Well, you know what? I hadn't let the tailgate down yet. Let's make sure we're not conflicting with anything. And let that out. Get that out. And there you go. Tailgate is down and not hitting anything. So that is going to work very well. I'm proud of that so far. The only thing is I'm going to have to recreate that Jeep right there. This is turning out so well that old rickety tire rack on the back of that thing with jerry cans, it just is terrible, and it rattles, and it's hanging on the body. And I'd prefer nothing to be attached to the body to create issues there down the road. Okay. I don't know. What time is it? It's maybe about 9 o'clock. Should I go on ahead and start fabricating my tire rack up here? Let me evaluate that. Well, one other thing I wanted to check was the tail lights. I don't believe there'll be any interference there whatsoever when it comes to the tail lights. Nice, nice. I hope this isn't too graphic for you, but here's a little shop advice. Always keep your first aid kit handy. I have been squirting blood everywhere. I was cutting a brace piece, and when you cut with a bandsaw, there is a sharp edge right down the edge of that thing, and I wiped my finger down that, and it was just like a razor blade. Cut it, and I know I'm gonna have to change this band-aid a time or two because I'm just trying to stop the bleeding. I don't think I need a stitch, but we're gonna wrap it up real good and keep on rolling. How's that sound? Because we're so close on this thing. But shop advice: keep and maintain a good first aid kit in your shop, because you never know when you're gonna need it, and it'll be at the last minute's notice when you do. And I think Guy's gone about as far as he needs to go tonight. But I think we got a lot done in one shop night, basically. See if I can get a little light on the situation for you. Just did some 45 bracing up in there, and got everything welded up solid, bolted up down tight. And I'm happy. I am 100% happy with the way that this has turned out. Yeah, I am probably going to have to put a bumper of some sort right here, because I can see this tail light getting banged up in the future. If that thing comes swinging around with a tire on it, that light doesn't stand a chance. Or I got to at least put some kind of stop right there. I might even just weld a bolt on there to keep it from going too far. We'll just see how that turns out. I mean, it couldn't shut any better. It couldn't perform any better. I'm just happy with the way things have come out of the old brain and noggin there. I mean, it doesn't give, it doesn't move. It is a rock solid part of the old Jeep. So when I get tired, my creative juices get a little less and I get frustrated. So I'm going to put it down for the night and just think about what I want to do here to bring out a bar for the tire mount. Actually, I think I'm going to utilize that 3-inch tubing right there. It's a little thinner wall than what I've been using, but I think it'll be fine for what we need. Okay, good night, y'all. The saga will continue. Well, it's the next day or so, and I'll be honest with you. Do you ever just get in the zone and you just get to going and you can't stop? Well, that's what happened here. I went out to my junk pile. Of course, I think I might have showed you this 3-inch tubing that I pulled out of the junk pile, and I just pulled some old plate out of the pile and found some studs, wheel studs I had over in my parts bin over there, and just got things to going. And put the cap on, also put a bump stop on there, which I'll show you in a minute, to keep the tire rack from going around and hitting the body. So I think it's done, other than I need to take a few minutes and cap this off. Don't want rainwater going down in there. But how do you think she turned out? I think it's well. I'm anxious to put the tire on and see how that all shapes up. So let me cut the camera, fix that top part, mount the tire, and I'll bring you back in and show you what it looks like. Doesn't that look very attractive on the back of an old Willys Jeep? I mean, they didn't come that way. These old Jeeps came with basically a tire mount over here on this back fender. If you wanted a spare tire, it hung on the side over here. They did not come in the back like that. Oh, that's a massive tire on the back side of that little Jeep, but it's a 31-inch, which is what the rest of these tires are. Got everything welded up, and everything is done except for cleaning it up and painting. And you may ask why I left that sticking up like that. I kind of sort of got some ideas about a off-road light in the future up here, shining backwards. So I'm leaving that to accessorize. I added the little bump stop right here, and everything is G-hauling like it should. Let me open it up for you. Okay. See, it can swing around. It almost, if I didn't have that bumper in there, it would hit the body. Then it would swing around and break that tail light. So that bumper has come in handy to be able to keep from breaking things. So there it is, folks. There is a swing out tire carrier for a 1946 Willys CJ-2A. Rock solid. Had good help. You know I'm talking about you, don't you? You know I'm talking about you. I see you're talking through your tail. I see it. Okay, well, that was what I wanted to accomplish tonight. And I think it's only about 8 o'clock. Wow, that might conclude one of the earliest shop nights I've had in a while. I just want to stand here and look at it. I believe I will for just a minute. Okay, not sure what's next, but stay tuned for the next clip. We got to start doing some painting and cleaning up and getting ready for that hayride. Oh boy, still have a lot to do. Hey, good morning, y'all. I don't know what day it is now, but you remember earlier in the video I told you that sometimes life throws you a little curveball.
Well, I was supposed to use this Willys Jeep for a hayride this coming Wednesday, but I got a call 2 days ago, and some Cub Scouts wanted to use it for a hayride Saturday night, which is tonight. And that bumped my deadline date of getting this thing ready up by 3 days, and I was not prepared for that. So basically what I did is I worked during the day, but I had a 48-hour, when I say work, my day job, okay? And then at night, I worked on the old Willys Jeep to get it ready. So it was about a 48-hour binge. And I didn't bring you along on that because I just had to put everything down and just get it done. And I think I brought you through most of the tire carrier. But as you can tell, it looks a little bit different, doesn't it? The color is different. Excuse me. I guess being up for 48 hours kind of broke my body down, and I'm sick. I can't do this like I used to back in the day. As the guy gets older, sleep is very, very important, and I didn't do it the last 2 days, and I'm gonna pay for it. You can probably tell my throat is a little hoarse. But anyway, let me turn the camera around and show you what we've done, and then after that, we're gonna get some shots of enjoying this thing with a hayride for the next two events. Y'all, isn't that thing gorgeous? So, if you haven't followed along from the beginning of this is a 1946 CJ-2A with a nod toward its slightly little older brother, the GP. Like I said, this is a civilian model, but I did the cutouts on the side like the military Jeep and try to do a few things to kind of give it the nod toward the military Jeep. The color I chose is a flat khaki, and I think that just turned out gorgeous. That's more than I could have ever imagined that paint being. But yes, it is a flat khaki color, and I don't know that it's completely dried yet, to be honest with you. I still smell it this morning. So, and my great cat is gonna put prints all over it. Pug. So got some rope on there, again a nod toward the military version. The paint is just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. The tires are 31-inch by 1250, I believe, on 8-inch wide wheels, and they give it a nice little stance. I haven't done anything to the floorboard inside because I plan on putting a bed liner in the floor. One other thing that I did, I don't know if I showed you, is I cut a hole in the top of the gas tank. So as you know, this thing is completely modernized. It's got a fuel injected 4.3 V6 in it, and the fuel pump is in the tank right there. And after I got done building that tire carrier, I realized it was going to be quite a chore to drop that gas tank if I ever need to. So I'm going to take the plate that I cut out and make a nice little cover to go over that, so that if I ever need to access the fuel pump, I can from the top side, and it won't be such a burden, so to speak. Well, the old tire carrier just turned out beautiful. I appreciate you following me on that process, as sporadic as it was, but it works very, very well. I mean, no issues whatsoever. And very happy with the way that turned out. And everything slicked up really nice. And of course, the whole reason for doing it was that trailer hitch that I'll be using tonight on the hay rides. But there she is, y'all. There she is. Still have some cleaning up to do in the fender wells and whatnot, but can you really ever say that a Jeep is done? I don't think you can. But we're closer than we were, a week ago. Well, next thing I need to do is build a roll cage, or at least a roll bar to go in there. I do want seat belts. That's just something. It is street legal, and I'm trying to make it street legal. Seat belts, I just think, is something we need. I value my life, if you know what I mean. Okay, so today's task is to pull siding off of a house. So got to go get on that and then get ready for a hayride later on this evening. Check you later. It's hayride night. It's a beautiful, beautiful fall night. It's going to be a great night at the church for a hayride. You know, Willys is ready to go. I've done a few other things like put mirrors on it. Not only there, but you know, up there, I can point to it, the rear view mirror, looking back. That'd just be helpful to be able to see people behind me on the hayride. So I just wanted to come on and say something before it gets crazy, because in just a little bit there's going to be mucho niños, a whole lot of children hopping on a hayride to enjoy it. So here we go. Let's guy get his truck cranked up, go fill up with gas in the Jeep, and hook to a hay trailer at the church. Trailer is hooked up to the old Willys, and the crowd is starting to show up for our fall festival at church. And it's going to be a great night. Very comfortable. Chili cook-offs happening up here. All kind of games for the children over here. And the old Willys is performing well. It's holding up well with that really heavy trailer. We'll see how well it holds up with people on it. But the trailer hitch is doing fine. And yeah, couldn't ask for a better, more beautiful setup for the hayride at our church. All right, I'll bring you back in a minute and let you see some of the action.
All aboard!
Stack up a little bit.
All right, tickets please, tickets please. Now this. We have now returned to Northwest.
Well, hey y'all, the hayride was a success. The tire carrier turned out great. Trailer hitch was perfect. Jeep ran beautiful. I couldn't have asked for a better running vehicle. And that granny low in the transmission was perfect in the parade. So yeah, I kind of figured after last night there were people going to start asking me to use this thing and say veterans parades, you know, and various other things, and I'll be glad and happy to. As a matter of fact, I just ordered all the stencils to put all of the, you know, military star and numbers and USA and all that kind of stuff on it. So it continues to be a work in progress, but this step has been fun. Kind of took a little bit out of me as a feller staying up late nights trying to get it done, but it's well worth it. I need those deadlines in my mind to be able to get some things done. So speaking of getting things done, it's the first thing I have pulled into the barn on the concrete after it's been done. So yeah, gonna have a good bit of shop space when this is done. Basically, I have the Jeep parked at the edge of where the shop is going to start, and everything around behind me is going to be living area, living space. So about 2,000 square feet of living space, 6,000 feet of man space. He's got his priorities right, doesn't he? Anyway, anywho, let's end this video. It's getting too long. Let me give a shout out to Tristan, my nephew. Your Uncle Rob loves you, buddy. And I'm going to end it on a beautiful picture. I'm going to flash it up and then we'll be done. My beautiful wife rode with me in the Jeep, and she had a cowboy hat on and was dressed like a cowgirl. And whoo-wee. Oh, she's so pretty. Okay, anyway, I digress. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. What's next? I'm kind of thinking Mustang. I'm feeling Mustangish. You know, okay, I'm not going to get into it. We'll see you later.